For the last 40 years, the Adivasis have become victims of the very land that once sustained them. Mineral deposits estimated to be worth trillions of dollars lie beneath this soil, and the Indian government wants to cash in. Forests have been cleared and dug up for iron ore, manganese, bauxite and a number of other minerals. And the government evacuated hundreds of villages to make room for steel plants and mineral refineries. This is the Rourkela steel plant. It was built in 1955 as a symbol of a newly independent India's self-reliance. It produces almost 2 million tons of steel a year. 32 Adivasi villages were demolished to make room for the plant. I visited some of the people from those villages who ended up in the settlement camp nearly 60 years ago. They were all promised jobs and prosperity, but they say they have been given nothing. Soma Lakta was a child when he came here. His son was born and raised in this camp and is now in his 20s. Wary of outsiders, Lakta is hesitant to complain. He would much rather say that things are just fine. As an Aboriginal person, as an Adivasi in India, do you feel different to the rest of the citizens of India?
हाँ सबसे अच्छा व्यवहार है हम लोग
सबसे अच्छा व्यवहार कहाँ स्कूल या एडमिशन या जो भी बने कुछ सरकारी कुछ भी काम में जाने से कैसे ऑफिस में जाने से कुछ तहसील ऑफिस में रहो तुम्हें टिकट दे दे नहीं खोरी जैसे समाज का जैसे बाहरी आदमी जैसे आदिवासी को कैसे देखता है वही सबसे पिताजी थोड़ा वाला स्टेटमेंट अच्छा नहीं दिए कोई भी स्कूल या कुछ में भी मैंने ज़्यादा वहाँ आदिवासी छोड़ के अदर कास्ट का रहने से फिर भी हम लोग को आदिवासी बोल के थोड़ा नीचे नज़र से देखता कभी भी अपना लेवल के हाँ चलो कि भाई भाई की ऐसे वो इससे नज़र से कोई नहीं देखता.
Upon hearing his son's angry words, Lakta musters up the courage to speak up about how his people are really treated here.
हम लोग को विजेशन करने से उन लोग लाठी ठेंगा करता है मारपीट करता है तो हम लोग क्या करेगा क्या कहाँ खाएगा क्या चीज़ में खाएगा कमाएगा खाएगा नौकरी नहीं देगा कुछ नहीं देगा तो हम लोग भूखा रहेगा भूखा में मरना पड़ेगा इसीलिए हम लोग लड़ाई लगेगा और क्या करेगा ऐसे भी मरना है वैसे भी मरना है.
When it comes to fighting for the rights of Adivasis, Dr. Binayak Sen has been a thorn in the side of the Indian government for the last 5 years. The 61-year-old pediatrician has been arrested numerous times. He remains relentless in his criticism.
So these focused processes of expropriation are forcing these people who are already living on the brink of starvation off the land and into even more severe poverty. And I would submit that the condition that is being created today in large sections of the population, particularly those sections which are living in the forested areas which are also mineral rich, the conditions that are being created correspond to a genocidal situation. So the Indian nation needs to be very careful at this juncture in its history not to expose itself to the charge that they are committing genocide on the sections of their own population.